Pete Davidson never planned for it. Not really, but sometimes. The most unexpected moments end up defining everything. Standing under the glowing lights at the premiere of The Home on July 22nd, Pete wasn't talking about his latest film. He wasn't promoting anything. Instead, he was just glowing. But not from stage lights or flashing cameras. This glow was personal, warm, from the inside out. The 31-year-old comedian had something else on his mind entirely: his pregnant girlfriend, Elsie Hewitt, and the life they're about to bring into the world. It's a rare thing when Pete opens up, especially when it's not about comedy or chaos, but about love, real, grounding, transformative love. And yet, there he was, casually dropping a line that said everything in just one word. Wow, that was the word he used to describe their first meeting. A wow moment. The people introduced by mutual friends with no expectations, no pressure, no camera flash hovering in the background. Just one look, a vibe, and something clicked. Pete wasn't looking for anything serious. Neither was Elsie, but they both felt it. Immediate, undeniable, magnetic. He said it was clear from the start. They met, and then it just made sense. We weren't really looking for anything, Pete shared, and we immediately were just like, oh, wow. Not the kind of wow you use after a red carpet or a viral sketch. The kind that rearranges your heart. Pete, who has navigated love in the most public, sometimes brutally judgmental arena, didn't sound like the brash, tatted up rebel we've seen headline the tabloids. He sounded calm, centered, maybe even a little surprised himself. So what makes this connection different? When asked, Pete didn't hesitate. I would say she's female me and I male her. We just laugh all day. Laughter. That's where it always begins with him. Not sarcasm or shtick, but genuine, goofy joy, the kind that fills a room and softens edges. It's no secret that Pete Davidson has faced his share of inner demons, struggles that have played out both publicly and privately, but when he talks about Elsie, there's light, there's ease. They waited until March 2025 to go public on Instagram. Elsie posted a simple clip of them watching Rugrats, a playful nod to childhood cartoons, and maybe even foreshadowing their own next chapter. It wasn't flashy, it didn't scream for attention. It just felt right, casual, real. Then came July 16th. Elsie made a post that broke the internet, but in the most hilariously Elsie way possible. With a video from a doctor's visit and an ultrasound photo, she cheekily captioned the reveal. Well, now everyone knows we had sex. Leave it to a couple who describes themselves as carbon copies of each other to announce a pregnancy with that kind of humor, but behind the laughter, there's something more profound. Pete isn't just amused by impending fatherhood, he's thrilled. Genuinely thrilled. I'm very lucky, he told E! News, and very, very happy. Those aren't throwaway words for someone who's been through the emotional grinder of fame, heartbreak, addiction recovery, and mental health battles. Pete's idea of happiness isn't surface level, it's something earned. And the way he talks about fatherhood makes it clear this isn't a detour in his life, it's the main event. When asked about it, Pete simply called fatherhood a dream, and he's not going in blind. His Saturday Night Live family has had his back. He says they've flooded him with encouragement and advice. Even Adam Sandler comedy legend, dad, and mentor shared some wisdom that Pete is clearly holding onto. They all just have been like, you're going to be great at this. It's the best thing you'll ever do in your life, Pete said, repeating those words like a mantra. Because in the end, this isn't just about the baby. It's about something Pete's been quietly searching for, maybe even without realizing it. Stability, wholeness, a reason to slow down. When you spend most of your 20s in the flashing lights of Hollywood, dating some of the most recognizable names on the planet, being scrutinized for your every move, and battling your own demons in the public eye, it's easy to forget that behind the tattoos, the jokes, and the outrageous headlines, Pete Davidson is just a guy who wants to be loved, and to love back. Elsie seems to have offered him that in a way that feels pure, not performative, not tabloid-worthy, just real. At 29, Elsie Hewitt is no stranger to the spotlight herself, a model and actress with her own following. She's built a career that's part glam and part grounded, and when they're together, whether at a Knicks game at Madison Square Garden or just watching cartoons, they don't look like a celebrity couple. They look like the people who genuinely enjoy each other, who laugh through the awkward silences and cry through the real talks, who don't need to prove anything to the world because they've already proved it to each other. This isn't a whirlwind romance in the traditional Hollywood sense. It's not about candlelit dinners on yachts or PR-driven red carpet appearances. It's two people, tired of the noise, finding clarity in each other. And now, they're building something new. A family. You could see the pride on Pete's face when he said, when you do something, when we do anything, you want everyone to be excited, especially having a child. So everybody's been great. That sentence alone carries weight. You want everyone to be excited. For someone who's often been the butt of jokes, the center of rumors, or the misunderstood outsider, being met with excitement and support means more than most realize. And while we're all used to Pete Davidson being the edgy, unpredictable comic, this version of him feels like an evolution. A man who's walked through fire and come out not unscathed, but stronger, calmer, ready. This isn't the Pete Davidson of late-night roast battles or impulsive decisions. This is the Pete Davidson who's about to become a dad, who's letting joy into his life without fearing it'll disappear, who's laughing with the woman he calls the best, and preparing to welcome a new life into the world on his terms. The days ahead will be different. Less limelight, more lullabies, fewer headlines, more home videos, and for Pete Davidson, that's not a downgrade, it's a dream come true. As Elsie's pregnancy progresses, the world will undoubtedly keep watching, but for once, Pete's not watching back. He's focused forward, on late-night feedings, baby giggles, and inside jokes that only he and Elsie understand. Because sometimes, life doesn't need to shout. Sometimes, the most meaningful moments begin with a whisper, or maybe just one little word. Wow.